Oh yes, welcome to DC Economics. So I'm going to take you through the concept about PIGOVIAN tax. In a simple way, a PIGOVIAN tax, this is a tax assessed against the private individuals or businesses for engaging in activities that create adverse side effects for the society. You may ask yourself, what are those side effects? The side effects we are speaking about are those costs that are not included as a part of the production marketplace. So this includes environmental pollution strains on public health care, from the sale maybe of tobacco products, or any other side of effects that has negative external impacts on the people's life. So normally we impose out a PIGOVIAN tax against those private individuals in order to discourage the production of goods that affects the health of people, affects the welfare of people. Although in many cases we observe to see the companies, different firms, different factories are producing and makes high profit, but in another side they affect other people's welfare. So normally PIGOVIAN tax was named after the English economist known as PIGO. So PIGO a significant contributor to the early externality theory. So it will be more very pressure to look on a PIGOVIAN tax example. One of the most popular PIGOVIAN tax is carbon emission tax. The government imposes a carbon emission tax to any company that burns fossil fuel. So because when they burn fossil fuels, they emit greenhouse gases that causes a global warming, which damage the planet. Damage the planet variable. So in one case, a PIGOVIAN tax is imposed on those carbon emission tax. And actual, this is imposed because the way the economy is growing, globalization is growing, technology is growing, most of the interactions of economic activities and environment take place at large amount. So it destabilize the environment conditions and bring effect to the people. Another PIGOVIAN tax common is in Europe, a tax on plastic and paper bags. So a plastic is a byproduct of burning fossil fuels and resulting in the damage of marine life, while the paper bags cause what is known as deforestation. So tax on senior items like alcohol and cigarettes can be constructed as a PIGOVIAN tax. So this is because they discourage behavior that can harm individuals user, but also has knock-on effects of others as well. But also as well as the second-hand smoke is included. So even alcohol and cigarettes are constructed on a PIGOVIAN tax since they affect the health of the individual, and they have what is known as more negative effects to the life of people. And most of these alcohol and cigarettes, they sometimes influence out bad behavior that cause different irregularities that take place in our surrounding environments, the issue of thefts, and so many other issues related. But also, we can observe the PIGOVIAN tax, how the government imposes a PIGOVIAN tax. This is a graph that is late when the government imposes a PIGOVIAN tax at PT minus 1. So when there is no PIGOVIAN tax at PT minus 1, you observe the output produced rise from Q1 to Q2. And when the PIGOVIAN tax is imposed, we observe how the quantity produced by the private producers who produce externalities is reduced. So when the price increases, the quantity produced, the quantity that comes with externalities decreases from Q2 to Q1. But one thing to note is that when the private producers who produce goods with externalities are imposed with a PIGOVIAN tax, most of the time they are discouraged to produce. But even to a little production that they made, the actual they are capable only to cover their cost by taking a decision to increase out more price of sold goods and services in the market. So they actually feel pain when the price increases because their production is discouraged. But in order for them to meet now the cost and to make a profit, in order to avoid that, they actually decide to sometimes to sell out at higher price those goods. And those, when goods are sold with higher price, in one way or another, the consumers who consume those goods will reduce consumption of those particular goods. So this is actually a technique that the government imposed in order to discourage out production of those external goods and to encourage out more productions of and external goods which are more favorable for sustainability of the life of the people and development as well. So sometimes they also decide to impose out a subsidies in order to encourage those producers who produce without externalities, and so as to attract those producers who produce with externalities to stop out and change out their direction to produce those goods which has got no externalities. So this graph actually shows the marginal social cost is above the marginal private cost. This actually realizes that when the marginal social cost is above the marginal private cost, this means that the bear of all the external costs goes to the societies than to the private producers. And that's why the imposition of this PIGOVIAN tax has intention to make sure that it reduces the goods produced with externalities and to encourage out the goods that are produced without externalities that could be sustainable for the life of the welfare of the people. So that's marked the end. This is DC Economics. Don't forget to subscribe and watch on other videos. Bye bye.